Headshot.
Greetings and welcome to the ARK HGC livestream. Today I am going to be running the Ice Cave on the Extinction map, and we're going to grab the Artifact of the Void, and we are going to hopefully kill the Ice Titan. Just as a disclaimer here, this is not a walkthrough. I am not a pro at this Ice Cave. I've been through it once. Like, I know the way to the artifact, I know the way to the pedestal and everything like that. I dropped off all the things that I need to spawn the Ice Titan. I think it's 10 Spinosails, 100 Corrupted Hearts, and 10 Therizino Claws, and then the Artifact of the Void. So, without further ado, let's get in there. I've got 7 almost perfectly bred Therizinosaurs. Max level cap on this is 300. I think one of them was level 180 when I tamed it, and then another one was like level 270. But I ended up breeding them to get higher and higher bred Therizinos so that I can mate them. And then what you're looking at right now is the product of all that breeding. So these Therizinosaurs are pretty hardcore. They've all got Ascendant saddles, so hopefully they'll be able to carry me through the Ice Cave and then further on to kill the Ice Titan. We'll see. Alright, let's turn them on aggressive. One really nice thing about the Therizinosaurs is that a lot of the dinos won't proactively combat them. The polar bears will, but like you can run past the Prolovia and you can run past the wolves. They won't mess with you when you're on a Therizinosaur. There's also Yetis in this cave, and they're actually pretty tough. So level 540 Direwolf, again, if you're playing this official or just vanilla settings, you're not going to see enemies that high a level in here. The enemies scale with the max wild dino level cap, so I think the max level we'll see is level 600 for the wild dinos in the cave here. So I'm going to try to be really careful and not get knocked off my mount by a Prolovia, because the dinos in here are frickin' rough. The polar bears, the Yetis, like these guys, these dinos are mass damage dealers. And I've got some pretty good armor, but I'd rather not have my armor destroyed because it's riot gear, and riot gear costs a lot of materials to fix up. If I had one major complaint about a Therizinosaur squad, is that they're kind of clunky. Like sometimes they kind of pool up around you and they're kind of hard to get around. Every once in a while I'll actually have to jump off my Therizino and jump on another one just to get out of the cluster. Oh, here, let me turn up the gamma a little bit. Hopefully you'll be able to see that better on the live stream. I do have my computer here. I'll keep an eye on it and see if that made it watchable, because right now it looks way too dark for y'all to see. Therizinos are doing some work. Yeah, a lot of times I'll just let my Therizinos do the killing. That way I can stay out of the way of any Prolovias that might want to knock me off of my mount. Again, if you want to know what settings I've got, any of the major changes, and also the mods that I'm using on this file, you can find all that in the description. I don't have anything too crazy going on. Probably the most crazy thing that I've got on this file is the Wild Max Dino level cap and the Wild Player level cap, which is at 500. Alright, you know what? I'm going to turn the gamma up just a little bit more. Let's go to 3.75. Alright, there we go. You should be able to see that just fine. And then once we leave this and go outside to fight the boss, I'll turn the gamma back down a little bit. Yeah, so the path through the ice cave here is pretty linear to begin with. It's going to open up into a pretty large area coming up here soon. And then it's still pretty easy to navigate though. Definitely not a puzzle dungeon, you know, it's not Life's Labyrinth from the Ragnarok map, that's for sure. Alright, I'm going to send my guys ahead, take care of those Perlovia for me. If I do get knocked off, I do have a shotgun in my inventory. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do at the beginning of the live stream is to pull up the map and show you all where the entrance to this cave is. I'll do that at the end of the live stream. This cave is actually, I would say, it's pretty equivalent in difficulty, I would say, to the forest cave. What's going on here? My Thurisnos aren't doing anything. There we go. It's pretty equivalent in difficulty. The enemies in here are more killing machines, but in the forest cave there's a lot more dinos that can knock you off your mount. In this cave there's only the Perlovia. And there's a lot of Perlovia, but there's no... I think in the jungle cave there's like 5 different dinos that can knock you off your mount, so... Alright. Man, the Thurisnos are glory hogs. Look at that, they just get right in there. I can't even, a lot of times I can't even attack an enemy if I want to attack it just because the Thurisnos are flooding it. Yeah, so oftentimes in caves like this, and that includes the forest cave and the desert cave, I'll go in between the aggressive whistle and the neutral whistle. I like to keep them on aggressive in open areas, but then I'll put them on neutral when I'm trying to get them through tighter areas. You know, areas where they can fall off the ledge, or areas where they can get stuck on stalagmites. So once you leave that linear path, it opens up into this area. I do believe you can get to where you need to go by taking the left route. I'd probably advise just hugging the wall to the right. And just pretty much keep going straight from where you exited. Alright, let's kite these guys. Okay, and if you're interested in my Theriznos stats, again, I did a lot of breeding to get these Theriznos to where they are now. I tried to get all of them. All of them should be above 60,000 health. And then now I'm just pumping them full of melee damage. If your max level cap is 180, which is I think is the default max level cap, obviously your stats aren't going to even come close to that. But the enemies in the caves are going to be lower level for you then too. So the difficulty should scale pretty normally. The only thing that I'm not sure about is the actual Titan fight itself. I don't know if that's actually going to scale with the Max Wild Dino level cap. Everything else does though, so... Okay, so now that we're kind of going up this ramp, I'm going to keep my Theriznos on neutral. That way they don't jump off the ledge trying to attack something that doesn't need to be attacked. I'd rather just keep my group together instead of having to go down there and chase them to get them back. Alright, so once you get up here, there's going to be a bridge going across. Now, remember when I said when you left that initial linear area, and it opens up to this, and you can either hug the wall to the right and just keep going straight, or you can take a left. If you take a left, they'll come up from that direction right there. And we came up from that direction, so it'll bring you up to this bridge. We're just going to cross this. And I'm actually going to put my Theriznos on passive, just getting across this bridge here. Nothing should really attack me anyway, except for Yetis or the polar bears. Okay, so there's a Yeti, but we're just going to keep running. Alright, cool. Yeah, just keep on running them in here. Alright, I'm going to set them loose. Open up this area a little bit. Okay, put them on passive again. Yeah, so here come the polar bears. Alright, I'm going to throw them on neutral. They can fall off the ledge over there. If things get a little bit too careless, so... Yeah, neutral's a great setting, but only in areas where you don't mean to be proactive. Okay, so we come here. There's the artifact of the void right there. But let's clear out the enemies so we can feel pretty safe jumping off of our mount here. Okay, let's put them on passive. And you know, it's not the end of the world if your Therizno goes over the edge like right there. There is a ramp for them to get back up. Just for the sake of trying to save time, though, I'm going to try to keep them from falling, try to keep any of them from falling down there. Okay, let's grab that. And keep on moving this way. Aww. Those wolves are trying to kill me. Alright, so we're getting actually really close now to the pedestal, and from what I've read, I haven't looked up a walkthrough or anything, but I did read the Gamepedia page about the cave and about the Ice Titan. And what it says on Gamepedia is that the Ice Titan is the most difficult Titan. It does the most damage and it has the most health, I guess. I hope I'm not misrepresenting what was said on there, but if I remember correctly, that's what it said. So, and I remember the Forest Titan was actually pretty rough. Like, it had a lot of health and it did a good deal of damage when it did manage to hit you. And then the Desert Titan was, it wasn't that bad actually. The problem with the Desert Titan that I didn't know when I went into it was that there are those little things that fly around it, the flock, and they can knock you off of your flyer. And I didn't know that getting into it because I don't like to look up walkthroughs for things I haven't done if I don't have to. Alright, so here's the pedestal, and again, I did already bring all the materials that I needed to activate the boss fight. I'm just going to go down here and kill these guys, because I know that if I don't, they're going to surprise me once I jump off my Thrizno. Okay. Put them on passive. If I'm not mistaken, I brought enough to do this fight 5 times. So I should have 50 Spinosails. 50, well, let's see here. Actually, let me level up my Thriznos if I can. Alright, so they've taken some damage just getting through there. So we're just going to pump them full of melee damage now, though. Yeah, these Thriznosaurs are monsters. I spent a lot of time breeding them. And, you know, picking the best ones to breed, breeding those, picking the best ones to breed, and continuing on until I felt good enough about mass breeding. So hopefully this boss fight won't be too difficult. Alright. Let's activate the sucker. Okay, so again, we've got an Artifact of the Void. We've got 100 Corrupt Hearts, 100 or 10 Spinosails, and 10 Thrizno Claws. And I brought enough material to do this fight 5 times. So let's start it. Yeah, so hopefully I don't lose any of my Thriznosaurs during the fight here. That would be a pretty big bummer, especially with all the time that I dumped into getting them to where they're at now. But I'm hoping they're tanked out enough to handle this fight. Ah, there it is. Okay, I just put them on aggressive. I'm going to try to clear out some of these peripheral enemies. Okay, so it hasn't really... Okay, so it's attacking the wild dinos that were already in the area. So that actually could be pretty useful information if you were going to tame it. I was going to say, you know, maybe I should have cleared this area out first and then run the dungeon so that this would be more barren. I don't know if I could run the dungeon in that amount of time, you know, so quickly where the wild dinos won't have respawned yet, but man, that thing is huge. Alright, let's see what my Thurisnos can do. Whoa! Oh, there's its node on the back of its right leg. Okay, so it doesn't have much defense, actually. It doesn't have much defense, but it's got a lot of health. I'm actually stuck inside of its... Okay, there we go. Look at that thing. Oh, it's coming for me, too. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, it's doing a good deal amount of damage to my guys. Alright, I better stop messing around, otherwise I'm going to have some dead Theriznosaurs. You know, my other Theriznos aren't even attacking it. That's odd. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna get them out of here. Oh, man. Huh. Okay, so it tried... Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm done. Wow. Wow. Okay. And you know what? That's fine. That's kind of what I expect when I don't look up a walkthrough. It wouldn't be as fun if it were super easy. That's always been my my theory. If everything were easy, well then there's no challenge, and you know, what's the fun in that? Okay, so I have my birds here, and I'm gonna bring the pain. Yeah, my Theriznos weren't even attacking it, and so I think that really lowered the chance of me completing that successfully. So hopefully the birds will act better in this fight. I like to keep a rear view on them so that they don't de-render. I try not to get too far away from them. Yeah, see, there's one way back there, messing around. Yeah, I'm gonna guess right now that birds are the way to go. Like, if you have a bunch of bred Argents, like, I don't know, but it seems to me like a bunch of bred Argents are good for almost everything in Extinction. Like, so much so that, like, I don't see much purpose for breeding really much anything else except for harvesters. But for combat, like, the Argents just seem to really kick a lot of ass on the Extinction map. You can do the orbital supply drops, you can do the element veins with them, you can do the boss fights with them. I know that you can use it for the Desert Titan and the Forest Titan, Haven't used it on the Ice Titan yet, but that's what we're going to go do right now. And see how it works. And I'm going to have to go get a bunch of materials to repair my armor that broke. I didn't know that that could happen. So I was mounted on my Therizno, and the Ice Titan not only froze me, but knocked me off of my Theriznosaur, which was definitely a fatal thing to happen. Alright, we're getting close. Hopefully it doesn't kill my Theriznos before I can get in there. That would be a massive bummer. Yeah, the Theriznos that I have there right now were all the cream of the crop. Like, I didn't leave any of them behind to breed, so if they all die, well then I'm kind of screwed. Alright. You know, and I never changed the gamma, but it looks like it's nighttime anyway, so... Come on, guys. Alright, I'm going to start taking damage due to the cold weather, so we've got a couple time limits here. Oh man, the Ice Titan's actually, he's taking a lot of damage. He's got about half health left, a little bit less than half health. Looks like he's beating the crap on my Theriznos though. Come on, Argents, hurry the hell up. Or maybe he's just beating the crap out of my dead body. Oh, my Theriznos are... Ah, good boys. Get him. Get him, get him, get him. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's screwed. And I did bring a shotgun, but it's on my dead body, so can't really use it. You know, it's really odd. It seems like the hitbox, like my Dinos are kind of having a hard time hitting them for some reason. That's okay, though. As long as none of them die. Oh, you froze all of them? Wow. Yeah, I don't want to risk it. Like, I don't want to get close to it again. Whoa, my birds are, like, frozen midair. They didn't even, like, drop to the ground or anything. Oh, please wake up, guys. Come on. Whoa. That was a ton of damage. He's gonna kill my Dinos. He's definitely gonna kill them. How long are my Dinos frozen for? Okay, they're back in action. Come on. Oh. Yeah, this is rough, you guys. Like, seriously. Alright, we're getting close. Getting close. Oh man, yeah, that thing is a monster. I'm surprised I made it out of there alive the second time around. Man, oh man. Yeah, that was rough. I would say that what I read on Gamepedia was definitely correct. That this was the hardest Titan. I'm going to throw all my guys on the neutral. get them all to land. I'm going to pick up my gear. And then we'll take a look at everything that I got. Wow, so I got all that stuff from killing it. Alright. Let's get the armor that I have left back on. Okay. What am I missing? I'm missing my chest piece, which is broken. That doesn't help me out too much. Okay, and I'm over encumbered, so... Wow. Yeah, that was a wicked fight. I don't think that there's any way my Thriznos could actually have done that by themselves. Get an Argent over here, dump my stuff into. Alright, let's see here. Where's Havoc Stratus at? That's the one I try to put all my, all the stuff that I want to keep. I always put in the one Argent that's named Havoc Stratus. Okay. Oh, yeah, another thing to mention. The way that I got all my Thriznos to the entrance of the cave was with the cryopods. So I actually got a bunch of ammunition from killing that thing. From killing the Ice Titan. A bunch of cannon shells. Death rewards. Get rid of all that junk. I don't like being reminded of how much of a failure I am. Okay, so we got some pretty decent stuff from that. There's a trophy. King Titan's next. I might do the King Titan on Wednesday. I might. Again, I don't know anything about it. I refuse to look up a walkthrough, so it would suck to lose all my dinos, but... So I usually like to go over-prepared. Ooh. Tek sword ready to go. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to... I'm going to grab all my Thriznos, and then I will... What I need? I need 7 of them? Okay, so there's 7 of them. Put all those into my tool belt. Alright. And then the one thing I always really try not to forget to do is take off their saddles. And hide is always useful, so we'll take all that out. Okay, don't need any of the other stuff, we'll just drop it. Havoc Stratus, where'd you go? I need you over here. Okay, that way I can just dump stuff into it real quick. We'll just dump everything in there for now. Okay. Okay, got that. And after I get all these guys gathered up, I'm going to take all my birds and all my Thriznos, and then we'll go back to the cave entrance, and that way I can make sure we can make sure that everybody knows where it's at. Woolly Rhino Horn, nah. Okay, drop all that. Whoa. How do you end up with all those rare flowers? Nice. Okay, don't need any of that. Alright, there is no saddle. Hide. And you know what? Yeah, you know, it looks like my Thrizno still had a decent amount of health left. But once Ice Titan was like stomping on him, doing thousands of damage, and doing it repeatedly, that got a little frightening, not gonna lie. Alright. Okay, make sure I got saddle. Alright, last one here. And then we'll get going. Okay, got all that. Let's hop on to my personal ride here. Okay, grab all my birds. And we'll head to the entrance of the ice cave. Yeah, that Ice Titan was a monster. I think you can hack it up with like a hatchet or a pickaxe, but I think it just gives you like meat and fur, and I don't need any of that kind of stuff right now. Yeah, one of the next things I want to do is I actually found a really high level Megatherium, female one. Now I'm trying to find a high level male Megatherium, so that I can run the desert cave and see how much chitin I can get. And the Megatheriums are specialists at getting chitin, so I want to breed them and get like a really awesome Megatherium and see how much chitin I can get in just one run through the desert cave. That's one of the things I think I might do next. But like for all these Argent saddles, all my Argents have Ascendant saddles, and that takes a lot of chitin or keratin. That's probably the hardest material to get, in my opinion, to make those saddles. So hopefully that will help other players out. Okay, I'm going to turn the gamma down a little bit. Alright, so the entrance should be right over here. Try not to lose any of my birds. Which reminds me I should probably put them all on passive. Okay, yeah, so the ice cave is actually underneath the ice dome. You don't approach the ice cave from within the ice dome. So when you look at the map here, what is that? That's about 20 latitude, 62 longitude. Yeah, so about 20 latitude, 62 longitude. And, oh my goodness, I'm stuck in here. Get off of me. And then one thing to note is, unless you have force enable cave flyers or whatever it's called in the settings, you will not be able to go in there with a flyer. If you try to do that, the game will knock you off your flyer, and it is possible that your flyer will go in there and get killed. So just be careful not to just fly in there willy-nilly unless you have the option to do so enabled. Alright, well, you know what? I'm not sure if there's anything else worth mentioning. Tough fight. Tough fight. The Thriznos didn't seem to attack the Ice Titan all that well. You know, they were just kind of standing there getting stomped on, and they would the Thriznos would get an occasional strike in. So I don't know if that's going to be like that with any other land dinos that you want to use. But I highly recommend, based on what I've experienced so far with the 3 Titans, the Forest, Desert, and Ice Titan, is that the Argents, an Argent army, I tell you what, like, especially if you can get them Ascendant saddles, if you can find a blueprint, or if you have the upgrade station mod. It still takes a ton of materials, but that makes it a little bit easier. I don't know. I've just been really happy. And usually, like in the past, like I haven't been that big of a fan of Argents. Like I played the crap out of Ragnarok, and you know I just got to the point where I could get Wyverns, and then the Wyvern was like my go-to ride. So like, and then on the island, when I used to play at official, I would use the Argents to hop from mountaintop to mountaintop, getting like the metal and stuff like that, metal and obsidian and crystal. So I just use them as cargo. So this is the first time I've really built like an assault Argent team, and I'm very happy with it. They got high health, they do a ton of damage. Their saddles give them a ton of armor. And there's not much that can withstand. I think I've got 14 Argents in my army, and they're all bred, all ready to go. Let's see here, what else to mention? I don't know, I think that's about it. Yeah. So I've got all 3 trophies now. Next Titan's going to be the King Titan. And then that should be it for the Gamma Titans. And then we can move on to the next round and do the Beta Titans. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be on tomorrow doing Borderlands 2, 6 o'clock. My wife's been trying to talk me into pushing my schedule out a little bit. So we might be changing it from 6 o'clock to 6:30 or 7 o'clock. It's live streaming every night. Just wanted to give you a heads up on that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.